What is up, party people? Welcome to this week's episode of Saturdays and Seltzers. My name is Kendra Middleton, and I am joined by Haley DeMello and our producer, Tyler. If you are watching this on YouTube, feel free to like and subscribe. If you're listening to us on something else, feel free to also follow us there. We're going to start our show pretty quickly this week. Just going to kind of hop into our HLH, which, if you are new here, is our high of the last week, low of the last week, and hero of the last week, which is something unexpectedly good that happened to you. Just to catch up. Haley, what is your high and how are we?
Hi, I'm great. My high of the week is we have officially rounded out the pod. Tyler has crossed that finish line and become a Panera Sip Club member.
Yes.
So we are all
finally
now Panera Sip Club members. I feel really united, and I think that we all get to enjoy the benefits of Sip Club this summer, which is pretty lit. Not sponsored, but should be at Panera. So
Haley, you got me into the Sip Club, to be honest.
Dude, I swear by the Sip Club. Swear to God.
Live and die by the Sip Club. Yeah, all right, good high. I like that. I haven't used my Sip Club in a hot minute, but I'm going to tomorrow. So
I honestly haven't either after that, but I just wanted to shout out that Tyler is now a Sip Club member.
Yeah, sorry, my headphones are giving me issues.
It's okay. Just leave me
technical
alone
difficulties.
Technical
give you
difficulties.
that
I think I fixed
compliment.
it though. Don't worry.
To be fair, my last Sip Club, when I say a while, was literally less than a week ago. So there's one next to my gym. I just have been working out from home.
I joined the
Well,
Sip Club, used it once, and then have not been back.
Well,
that's iconic.
why?
I don't know. They gave me a free drink.
That's how it works. That's the whole thing.
There's a Panera next to the radio station and one next to my gym, so I'm there often.
There's one right next to Tyler's building.
Yeah.
What?
But the issue is, Kendra, they close at 3 p.m.
Yeah, that's trash.
So I can't,
disagree
if
with
I
that.
go for lunch at later than 3, we got an issue.
Why don't you go before work?
Good point.
You're a boy. It takes you 5 minutes to get ready.
Also, good point.
Yeah, I could go before work, I guess. I never think about going before work, though. I'm usually a breakfast at home guy.
Well, you could do breakfast at home and then just get a coffee on your way to work.
True.
For free from Panera.
Yeah.
As you are a Sip Club member.
This is true. These things are true. We also have just a nice coffee machine in the office. I've got unlimited coffee at the office.
Fair brag.
Well, why don't you walk there and stop being lazy?
Wow.
In the morning.
I could.
Tensions are high this week, guys.
Tensions are high.
Tyler gets pissed whenever it's Wednesday and we record.
And I think I figured it out.
It's the Wednesday thing.
I think it's because I'm coming home from work and I'm still in work mode. My brain hasn't made the switch yet to fun mode.
No, we're going to get into it, but I think that we're experiencing an Oppenheimer level explosion of sorts for Tyler in terms of the amount of things that pissed him off coming together at once between the Kirk Cousins documentary. It's abnormally hot in Nashville. SEC
Record
is in
numbers.
Town.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of people around.
Nick Saban's down the street.
Instead of me asking for Tyler's high, we'll just go with Tyler's low.
Yeah, go
you're
ahead.
already giving it all away.
Yeah. Yes,
I didn't even.
Days in Town. Wow. That's my low. It's also Madden ranking reveal. I think both of those events are some of the stupidest events in sports media.
Wow.
Just
drag them.
Ridiculous. SEC Media Day. Why do we care what these coaches have to say? Are they really going to tell us any information we didn't already know, though?
No, but
it's all just coach speak.
Memes
it's all just a bunch of media members downtown getting drunk and coming back to the office.
Okay, Tyler, drag me. Literally slander me.
Can I ask, would you feel the same if it was in another city other than the one you live in?
You are an SEC fanboy.
If you got to go with work, would you feel that way?
If work sent me and I was the one able to have fun, no, I would not feel this way. Okay. But
it's just because it's inconveniencing you.
Yeah, it's because it's inconveniencing me. And it's more, I would still be upset because I think it's supposed to be in Dallas next year. I'm going to be upset then too, but to a lesser extent because my office is going to be empty.
Now, can I ask why in particular the Madden rankings upset you so much? Because you
'Cause
are
that's
a
also
Madden,
stupid.
you're a Madden extraordinaire though. So
Yeah, and formally, I'm a
recovering Madden extraordinaire. For those of
Yeah.
you listening at home that
It
did
was a
not know,
problem.
formerly ranked Madden
Yeah, it's
extraordinaire.
like top 300 in the world or something. Not a big deal. The Madden rankings reveals, it's so stupid. Like, who cares? They're gonna change in 2 weeks as soon as the game's released. As soon as you do something, the Madden's gonna change you. It doesn't matter.
T.
I have to say, I am pro both things that you dislike, and here's why. I like SEC Media Day because 1, memes, 2, quotes, 3, grown men fighting with each other, and 4, promising or under promising or over promising. And at the end of the year, you get to hold people accountable for that. So I'm here for it. And as far as the Madden shit goes, I like to use it because it gives us something to talk about in July. And honestly, it helps me dunk on shitty teams. It's like, oh, well, you don't have a player on this side of your ball ranked above whatever. You guys are going to stink because some video game nerds said so.
Yeah, you see, I hate that. We're making news out of nothing. And I can't
like
stand it. I can't stand it. And the SEC Media Days, it is fun when coaches start fighting with each other. That never happens, though. Like,
That's
it
not
may have
true.
happened a little bit last year with Jimbo.
I feel like it happens every season.
It hasn't happened this year.
Yet.
There's one more day. Oh, then
Exactly, Tyler, and they've all been together for days.
Lane Kiffin is like very nice to everybody these days. He's a good guy. He's not going to say anything bad.
You do not know Lane Kiffin very well if you think that.
He's changed, man. He's changed.
Tigers don't change their stripes.
Wow, T.
He's a sad cat.
And my
Lane
point
Kiffin.
Exactly.
Wow.
He's my boy. He's my boy.
Friend of the show.
Yeah, friend of the show. Come on the show, Lane.
All right. Are you done being sad?
Do you want to circle back to your high since I stole your thunder?
Do I have anything else I'm sad about? No, I don't think so. It is supposed to be a happy time of year. It's Barbenheimer week. That's my high. Happy Barbenheimer.
Happy Barbenheimer week.
This is supposed to be a good week.
For the record, so far, things are going in my favor. I have Oppenheimer as the better film. Tyler thinks
But we haven't
Barbie.
seen it. I don't think you can have.
But the critics are starting to come out and they're starting to say Oppenheimer is pretty good. So
it doesn't shock me. Christopher Nolan's the greatest filmmaker of our generation.
I know. That's why it's gonna be sick, dude. I can't wait.
Can we all go together?
So
can you guys wait?
We're going.
Yeah,
we can figure it out.
We will
touch base offline.
Okay.
Yes,
I would like to do the Barbenheimer together. We can meet in the middle somewhere.
Okay, great.
Okay, great.
All
right. So I have not done a high or a low.
Yeah, why don't you go ahead?
I'm going to go with my high, and my high is that I'm going to New York City this weekend. By the time you're listening to this, I will already have been there for a day, and I will probably be watching Manchester United play Arsenal because that's on Saturday. So
why probably?
Because I'm just assuming if someone's listening to this by now, that's the afternoon, and that's where I am.
I thought it meant you might do something else.
Oh no, I'm just saying. And Marcus Rashford's playing, so that's a high. We got that little bit of news, so I get to see Marcus Rashford play.
That's pretty sick.
So yeah, Haley, what is your low?
My low is we are in the middle of summer, which is lit. Love that. And I know I'm going to get a lot of hate from anyone that's not from the Northeast because I realize it's not nearly as hot as it is in, say, Phoenix or Nashville right now, but it is pretty hot. And my office does not have AC. As I discovered on my trip to Nashville this past weekend, the South has central AC.
My house doesn't have AC.
I will give you that. That they have that shit figured out, and we do not. So I don't have AC in my office, and it is so hot. And I'm one of those people that need to be in my office and surrounded by work to really get to the grind, and I can't do it. So I'm just pretty much over summer. Which is sad because I also hate when it's freezing outside.
I've been over summer since it started.
Well, your
Yeah, but-
summer is pretty prolonged.
It's
Yeah.
very prolonged.
Yeah, I don't
I
have
don't know what to
AC
do
and
with
it
myself.
blows.
Yeah.
I don't know why that's not a thing here. My low is also the weather, so I'll just knock that out. The rain this year is making it just so much more humid and sticky, and literally it rains every single day, so we can't even enjoy the nice weather. It's just gonna go from raining to snowing, and that's gonna fucking suck. Tyler doesn't have a hero. Haley, what's your hero?
Tyler does have a
I
hero.
do have a hero. You highlighted
wait.
over my hero.
You're right. I did. That's my bad. Go for it.
Ricky
Usually
Fowler.
you only have
sixth
one.
week in the
Record
league,
sixth
in-
week in a row.
in a row.
Wow.
Open week, vibes are high. The end. I don't really have anything else to say. I bet on him. I think it's gonna be a good week for him. Be his first
So
major.
is that a sad cat bet?
I haven't decided if it's going to be my sad cat of the week. It's either going to be him or Colin Morikawa. I will be betting on them both, but only one of them will get the sad cat designation.
If you guys saw my tweet earlier, I did get an ESPN headline notification about Ricky. So vibes are high.
All right. Haley hero.
My hero is frozen vodka lemonade. Like I mentioned earlier, went to Nashville this past weekend and went to a conference for women in sports, which was awesome, and got to hang out with Tyler for a little bit, which was sick. And when he was really busy doing SEC stuff, I hit Broadway by myself and did a solo bar crawl and went to Miranda Lambert's bar, Casa Rosa, and got to sit, just people watch and drink frozen vodka lemonades, which were bomb, but they were also $15. So that was pretty sucky.
That's Broadway for you.
But that's Broadway for you, and that's the price you pay. And it was whatever. I FaceTimed Kendra for like an hour while I was there, and we just hung out, and a band played really loud in the background.
That was the
iconic.
scariest shit ever.
Could you understand what she was saying, Kendra?
Oh yeah.
We had a full conversation. Yeah. It was
Probably
hysterical.
like we were on the phone for over an hour.
It was hysterical. My phone, that's why my phone died. My phone totally drained. But anyway, it was awesome. So what is your hero, madam?
My hero is Amazon Prime because I just overnighted everything that I needed before I leave tomorrow. So
Great. Did you make any Prime Day purchases?
I did make Prime Day purchases actually. I have a couple returns that I have to get done too. Yeah.
We both did as well.
Anything cool before we get to
No, not
sports?
really. I got
bought some socks.
I
also bought socks.
God,
Yeah.
you guys are so weird. I got a beading kit. Because
What?
Kendra and Kendra and Abby and I have talked about making F1 beaded bracelets. So I spontaneously bought one, and they're so small. There's no way I'm gonna be able to do it. So that's hilarious.
We'll make Tyler one too.
Yeah.
Tyler, but you have to give us a quote.
I've given many quotes.
Wait, we should just make him the I am stupid Charles Leclerc.
Yeah. That's good.
I am going with a Toto Wolff quote. Haley, what are you doing?
I think I should just get one that says
I was
sad
gonna do a
cat.
Ferrari one, but yeah, I can make you a sad cat one,
Make me a
Tyler.
sad
We'll do
cat
that.
one.
Ooh,
I was
true.
also gonna do a Lando one, orange and blue. Hashtag
All right.
Lando.
We'll get to F1 stuff.
Yeah,
but
but first,
football. So we're doing our divisional previews, but we did have kind of a decent amount of NFL news between when we recorded last week and now. There will probably be some more stuff by the time this comes out because, like we said, we're recording early. It's Wednesday. I'm going on vacation. The end. I knew people were going to ask about my reactions to the Evan Engram deal. I don't have anything other that I'd like to say other than the fact that I'm super excited for it. I think it's a good signing. I've waited my entire life for the Jaguars to have an elite tight end. I'm glad he's having like a second win in his career. The end. DeAndre Hopkins to Tennessee doesn't scare me. I don't know if we talked about this like officially. Like I know that
I was
just,
there on the
throwing
ground
rumors last week.
I was there on the ground. There on the scene.
Haley, what was the reaction?
Well, I will be real. When I was there on my solo mission, there was a Blink 182 concert at the Bridgestone Arena. So there were not a ton of Titans fans, I can assume, on Broadway. but I can venture to guess that they're excited about this because why not? When they can take something away from the Patriots, any team would be excited about that, I would imagine. So
Yeah, Tennessee sports radio is very exciting.
all they were doing was talking about this
Yeah.
and the messy Publix sighting. That was
That
all
too.
Tennessee sports radio talked about all weekend.
That too.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. This doesn't make me scared at all. It's fine. Like, who's gonna throw to him if he wants to go there and let his career die, so be it.
Pop
Whatever.
off, King.
Yeah. Also, Leonard Fournette today is practicing with the Patriots.
I love this.
I hate this for
It's
the Patriots.
it's so Bill Belichick.
It's so Bill Belichick.
Yeah.
I tweeted that. I was like,
it's exact. We should have seen this coming, to be honest. It was written in the stars.
I think it's so fucking funny.
I have no comment.
I was thinking today, you know how like everyone that's like a Patriots fan wants Dalvin Cook. This is like Robert Kraft and Bill Belichick being like, we have Dalvin Cook at home and signing Leonard Fournette
for the cheap. Yeah.
Yeah.
It reminds me of the commercial with the guy with the dollar on the fishing rod. He's like, you got to be quicker than that. Like that's them with the entire.
That's Bill Belichick.
That's Bill Belichick with the fan base. Like, nope, you thought, psych. Here's Leonard Fournette.
I actually do
Crazy.
like Leonard Fournette. If they can get him cheap, I don't hate it.
Dude, he's had so many injuries. He's been in the league for so long. I know he's only 28, but when you've been in the league since you were like 21 or 22 as a running back, that's a really long time.
And he
that
was
being
worn
said,
down at LSU too.
Yeah, exactly. And he's had injuries in the NFL. He had one like playoff Lenny of like 2020 is just
those were the days. That's why I like him.
The nostalgia factor.
He's not that person anymore. He's just a name.
No, that's why we got to get him for cheap though. To give him a discount.
Speaking of discount running backs,
discount Lenny.
We have
discount Lenny. That is good shit, Tyler.
Oh
Speaking of, running backs are on strike. And that being said, I understand why Leonard Fournette would get a cheap deal, right? Does that make it right? No. You know, running backs are obviously pissed off this week for a reason, right? Like, Haley's pro running back. I am anti-running back just because of the business aspect. That being said, I do think they need to be paid more in their younger years just because their careers are so short because they take so many hits. But it's like, how do you even make that a thing? Haley, sell me on being a running back early.
I don't know. I guess I come from a position of like, this is going to sound really crazy, but when I was growing up, I grew up around like a lot of ballet dancers and that kind of area of the world. And it's very similar in a way where when you get into the professional aspects of it and you get contracted, you're wearing down your body immensely over the course of a contract or the course of a year. And it's kind of like this whole situation of whether or not they deserve to, like you said, the longevity of the investment from a business perspective. I understand that as well. But I understand selfishly wanting the money to be increased and for, you know, more, not necessarily equal pay, but to kind of have contracts that are worth, you know, what other players are getting, especially when we talk about, like we talked about the Daniel Jones contract and things like that. Like, why can't you invest money in your running backs? But that's just how I am. I know you guys have your reasons for it, but I've always been pro running back just because, like, I don't know.
It's not that I don't think that running backs should be paid equally. It's just that's not the business model that the NFL has fallen into. I look at like how the fullback used to be used. It's just a passer heavy league, and I don't see that changing. So it's like, do I think that there needs to be more value for them in the beginning of their career? Yeah, but that just can't happen because of how the draft works. Like, there's just not a significant enough drop off between a second round running back and a fifth round running back. Like, they're really just not that different on paper.
Definitely.
And it's like, there's a few guys in the NFL that I think deserve these huge contracts at their age. And it's like Derrick Henry is one of them. Jonathan Taylor is one of them. Saquon Barkley is one of them. But when you are paying Daniel Jones, what, like 30, like for example, $35 million, Saquon Barkley might be elite, but the market's just not there. Even though he might be the better athlete, he's just never going to contribute to the team in a way that Daniel Jones does, unfortunately.
Right. For sure. Tyler, what are your thoughts?
I don't really have too many thoughts. It's just business.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like it's business. It's like what we
but
talk
how do
about.
You fix it?
Yeah, I don't know.
Probably have some sort of. I'm not a lawyer, but they'll probably work some sort of like price floor into the next what is it? Players Association, CPA. That's the word.
Yeah, I can see that as a realistic outcome.
But then what keeps teams? All right, let's say that what they do is
they'll find another loophole. Yeah, I mean it's just a never-ending loop of they'll find a solution eventually, probably in like a year or two, and then they'll find another loophole to stop paying a different position or something.
Yeah, then Bill will be a genius for signing all these old running backs because he won't have to pay an expensive rookie contract.
Literally,
discount Lenny.
Discount Lenny.
I love it.
Everyone's out, like, have you seen that tweet? I retweeted it the other day, and then I just had like imbeciles in my comments, so I unretweeted it. But the tweet that was like, kickers make an average of like 2.2 million a year, where running backs are like 1.1, and it's like, people's argument against it is that kickers are harder to find, and it's like, no, they're just the ones who would be good at it are playing soccer. So, I really don't think it's that insane. But
yeah, I don't know.
I don't know either, Tyler.
I don't know either.
Only other thing that I had to comment on before we get into the NFC East, Jack Jones, John Morant tweet. Did you guys see his rebuttal to everyone?
I saw the rebuttal. I didn't see like, was it just people making fun of him on Twitter? Is that what he was rebutting?
Yeah, so if you missed it a couple weeks ago, it was uncovered that Jack Jones had tweeted about John Morant being an idiot, and then when he was arrested, everyone found that tweet and went crazy. And he decided yesterday to tweet that him and Ja's situation weren't even the same, and basically said that Ja was still like the stupid one in the scenario, which I think that what he did is worse than what Ja did.
Much worse, you would think.
I think Jack Jones lives rent-free in your guys' minds. He just keeps coming up every single week. I think
he's a character.
We cannot wrap our head around this situation, like just the whole situation. And it continues to just baffle me. I have literally no words for this. I don't even know. Why would you try to start a Twitter beef? Like, so stupid. She just kept his mouth shut.
Tyler's tweet did have me cracking up, though.
Yeah, John's still allowed at Panda Express.
Tea, though. That's the pot calling the kettle black. You know what I mean?
I'll throw allegedly in there because I don't want Jack to sue me.
Yeah, allegedly.
All right, so this week we are moving on to our next NFL division preview. We are starting with the NFC East. I haven't looked at you guys' rankings yet. You guys,
we are twins.
Wait. Me and Haley are the same, and Tyler's different. So, All right, me and Haley have Philly winning the division. I think Tyler does as well. Everyone's got the Eagles winning the division. I think it's pretty obvious. What are your thoughts? I have a lot to say about the draft, so go ahead.
Yeah, we've talked about it on the show before, but Philly, just an iconic American sports city. I love the Eagles. I love Jason Kelce coming back for them. I think that they can, as we've talked about, combine obviously that veteran presence with their new talent that they've gotten in the draft, as you're going to talk about. And I think they got, again, just another divisional win for them. I can totally see it coming off of a 14-3 season last year. Like, don't know how much better they can get, but I look forward to seeing it.
Yeah, I think it is on paper, Philly's the obvious choice. The roster's great. The depth, I think the depth is really where they're going to find their money. Because they could have plenty of injuries and be fine. I think. Like barring like Jalen Hurts getting hurt, but Jalen might be
Even so, Marcus Mariota, like he sucks, but their team's so good that like.
Yeah, he could be fine. I think they would. I think they like drop the Super Bowl contention if Hurts gets hurt, but they'd still be competitive and could probably win the East. Jalen though, I kind of really like his odds for MVP. He's like the fourth favorite, or he was the fourth favorite.
Ooh, okay.
No, he's fifth at plus 1100. I kind of like that. I think he could, if he could stand to grow a little bit as a passer, and I think he kind of will this year. But yeah,
that might be a good sad cat bet this week.
That might be.
I agree.
I don't think this week. I'm not going to bet this week because we got the Open this week.
All right.
But
True.
Maybe down the road, if I'm looking for a sad cat bet of the week, it might be a future on Mr. Hurts as MVP.
All right. Outside of what you guys said, I just think the rich got richer in the draft, especially obviously Jalen Carter, who had some troubles before the draft, kind of fell to them. And I love that in practice every day, if he's practicing with the ones, he's getting reps against someone like Jason Kelsey, because who better to go up against and not only like learn from day in and day out. I don't think that that's a bad option right there. I think he's a day one difference maker, and so is Keely Ringo. I did not expect him to fall to them, let alone really that far. He fell.
Yeah, and I think crazy.
He was a good pickup. So they got really lucky in the draft. I think those two guys are my favorite additions for them.
Jalen Carter is my favorite addition of anybody. I thought he was the best player in the draft, and they got him as a steal. Like off the field issue or concerns, which I don't even think are really concerns. I think it's the best pick in the draft in my book.
Yeah, I also love the experience that they have overall on their offensive line. I think top to bottom, it's really decent, especially because Jack Driscoll's even like a solid backup at right tackle. I just, like you said, the depth is insane. Jalen Hurts has weapons now. I think now that Devonta Smith has a season under his belt too, like he's even better. And I have to say, I did not know that Dan Arnold was on the Eagles. He used to play for the Jags. I had no idea that he was Dallas Goedert's backup. I don't know why.
I don't know why I did know that.
Yeah, I don't.
It's a very obscure thing for me to know, I feel like, but
their defense is also sick. So they're
defense is so sick. I'm slightly. I think if there's a spot that's going to let them down, it's the secondary. Because that's definitely I think the weakest part of their defense. But I think they'll be fine.
They're my Super Bowl pick. They're my preseason before
your Super Bowl winner or Super Bowl in the Super Bowl pick?
No, Super Bowl winner.
Wow,
it's a good one.
Yeah,
they are co-favorites. Number 2.
I feel like the Chiefs have to be the favorite.
Chiefs are definitely the favorite. Hold on, I got it right here. Or this is from last week anyway.
They're my winner.
It's Kansas City 1, Philly 2, Buffalo and 49ers tied for 3.
The NFC is just so easy that I feel like it would be it would be realistic for them to stay mildly healthy because their schedule is not as tough.
100%.
So I think that that's the difference maker between them and Kansas City for me.
I don't know. Doesn't Philly play like both Kansas City and Buffalo?
Did they pull the AFC East? They might have.
I think think they all have a pretty tough schedule this year. That's why I bet the under for the Eagles.
They did pull the AFC East, but regardless, like I don't think it's that big of a deal.
I think it goes back to the depth, like you guys talked about earlier. Like,
yeah,
is it that big of a deal when you have the depth that they have and the like player ability that they have?
That's fair. I think that even if they do hit the under, I think they will not go any less than 10 wins, which is kind of why I just 11.5 is a big number.
I don't think it's that. I like the over on that.
Scares me.
Tyler, you have the Giants.
Daniel Jones specifically, I thought you were going to go dark horse. He's my dark horse for the division. And I feel very similarly to the Giants as I feel about the Cowboys. It wouldn't shock me if they swapped places. But I kind of like the additions they made around Daniel Jones more. Yeah, you're going to deal with a Saquon situation, but I'm also kind of, is it really going to matter? Am I willing to say that? I don't know. if I'm willing to say. Saquon playing or not doesn't matter, but I really like Waller. I think he's gonna do really well with Daniel. Daniel's also made like noticeable improvement from his time playing under Dabble. Every year he's played. Paris Campbell, I think, is a guy that a good addition from Indianapolis last year. And even Jalen Hyatt, I don't think he's been doing too well in camp, but on paper, I really like what they've done around him. And I think he could make a lot of improvement this year. I not enough to beat the Eagles in my book, but I think they'll be a good team.
I have Dallas beating them because I don't have a ton of faith in Dallas's coaching and their ownership, obviously, but I think that on paper, they're a better team than people are giving them credit for. I don't think the depth is anything outrageous, but they have better starters than the Giants do. My issue with the Giants is like, I feel like Brian Daboll has to have at least like a knock of a peg in coaching this season. I didn't think he was that great of a coach last season. Obviously, I think he proved himself, but I don't think that he can coach to that caliber again when you just signed Daniel Jones the contract that you did. I think it's, like I said earlier, like $35 million a year. He's not a great quarterback. The Saquon situation doesn't help. Their wide receivers aren't great. Whereas like if I look at the Dallas roster, Dak Prescott, Tony Pollard, CeeDee Lamb rocks, Brandon Cook rocks, Michael Gallup rocks. That is a tough wide receiver group to go up against. I also think that their defense is getting better. I mean, I know that they have Stephon Gilmore and Trayvon Diggs and DeMarcus Lawrence, whatever. I really just think that their roster is better to look at from the one's perspective on paper. And I feel like I think Mike McCarthy's an idiot if he doesn't get in his own way. Is Kellen Moore still there? Or did he get a head coaching job? I can't remember.
He's gone. I don't even think he got a head coaching job. I think he's an offensive coordinator somewhere else.
Damn. Where did he go? I need to know.
Don't quote me on that. Definitely do your own research. But I wouldn't be shocked if what you're saying is true.
That's right. He went to the Chargers.
On paper, they do look really good, but I don't know. I just kind of think that I don't like their play calling as much as I think I like New York, and Brian Daboll's just much cooler than Mike.
True.
So
Haley, thoughts?
There's that.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with Tyler. I feel very similarly about the Cowboys and the Giants. Call me an NFC hater, but my whole kind of thinking behind it is that no matter what, the Cowboys are going to Cowboys. And honestly, the Giants are going to Giants. I know that the Giants fan base is riding pretty hard for Daboll. So the pressure's on the contract, like you mentioned, for Daniel Jones. The pressure's on there. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if they crack under the pressure, but they could also be the Giants and somehow like have an incredible playoff run. I don't know. For the Cowboys, I have to agree. I have the Cowboys in second for the division, to be clear. I have to agree with Kendra. I think on paper, the roster is superior to the Giants. And again, at the same time, though, Cowboys are going to Cowboys. We talked earlier about kind of the business of football, and the Cowboys are one of the best examples of that, for better or worse. And we had that report come out today. Zach Martin, their guard, is not going to be showing up to practice again because they're having difficulty with their contract negotiations for their players. I don't understand how this continues to be an issue for this organization that is considered one of the leading, most iconic in the NFL. Like, this is just basic stuff that they can't seem to come to terms with their players. So I don't know. I think it could go either way. I think.
Good point.
Yeah, I don't know. Do we want to talk about who we have going to playoffs? Because I was going to say that either or for Cowboys or Giants. I think it's more likely. I think it's more likely for the Giants to win in a wild card playoff situation than the Cowboys. I don't think the Cowboys can win in the postseason, but that's just because I'm also biased in that sense. I'm triggered from the, iconic Patriots Giants debacle.
Tyler, do you have any Commanders thoughts?
I do. I've got a couple. Nothing like, I don't think they really improved a ton this offseason. I do like the I forget his name, the corner they drafted in the first round. I think he's actually solid out of Mississippi State. I do think this could be the last hurrah for Riverboat Ron. But I think it's planned. It's a planned last hurrah.
A Viking funeral, if you will.
A Viking funeral. Yes. I think Sam Howell is like I don't know what you want to call him. He's being sent out there to the slaughter.
Well, my question is, why is Jacoby Brissett not starting?
Because I don't think they want to win games, Kendra. Question for you all. If I had to ask, where do you think Caleb Williams was born? Where would you say?
It's the long con. I'm telling you.
The long con, baby.
Is he from DC?
He's from the District of Columbia. Hometown boy. They're throwing the season away. They're throwing Riverboat Ron.
So you're going with that for any team with a terrible record this year? It's all the just so happened,
like I mentioned last week.
For the Patriots.
It just so happened the Patriots are also
in the long con.
But Washington, I think, makes a lot more sense.
So you are putting money Caleb Williams -- 1 pick. You're saying it for sure now. You're hearing it first.
Oh, I've been saying he's for sure number 1 pick.
Great.
I think
he's Tyler's hot take.
Yeah,
Caleb Williams is definitely the number 1 pick.
Okay.
Flip it. This is Tyler's hot take.
Depending on who has it, I think Washington is easily in that conversation this year.
If they blow it, which you think they're going to do on purpose.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the only good thing about that team is the defense. And the defense is like, they're like a top 10 defense, I think, top 15. I don't know.
I think it's definitely a possibility. I think it's definitely a possibility. We also do have to share that we are biased because we are an anti-FedEx Field podcast. It is not our favorite venue.
And Kirk Cousins has contaminated the Commanders
correct.
for me. So I do have that against them. But
but
I think Caleb Williams to the Commanders makes a ton of sense.
All right, my next question. Does Chase Young finish the season as
healthy? No.
As a Washington Commander?
I wouldn't be shocked if he was traded at the deadline.
I think he's going to be traded.
If he gets hurt before the deadline, you can't trade him.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I trust him not to get hurt before the deadline because he has never stayed on the field.
It's true. All right. You said your dark horse, Tyler, is Daniel Jones. Haley, yours coincides.
Yeah, we are. Again, we're on the same page together this week. We both have the Giants. I'm sure you have much deeper thoughts, so I'll just touch on it real quick. Like I said earlier,
mine's the Cowboys.
It's the Cowboys.
Oh, well then I'm an idiot. Sorry. My dark horse is
the Giants.
The Giants. So I'm with a little bit of both of you, which is very exciting.
I'm just gonna go back. I could see it being either of them.
I mean, that's how I feel too,
I think
Tyler.
It's kind of a coin flip.
Yeah, I agree. I think they could both surprise me again. Like the Giants just trigger me. I know that if they can get into a situation where they can really make a run, I don't know, but maybe they can't. I mean, I say that and you look at last season, they finished 9-7-1. Like I don't know.
It's a thing where I think
the pressure is on.
I think the Cowboys are on paper the better team, but I think the Giants are on paper the better run organization.
I would agree with that.
I would agree with that.
So I think it's just kind of a coin flip. Either one of them could be number 2, but who knows? The NFC East is a wild place.
It is. It's kind of this was crazy. Just like preparing for this one.
So nobody's repeat champ. How do you say that? We haven't had a repeat
back-to-back champ
in a long
time. Since 2001 to 2004, the Eagles they won 4 years, 3 years in a row.
Yeah, that was back when there was 16 games and you could go 8-8 and win that division.
Yeah.
Iconic.
All right. We have any other comments before we move on?
No,
I got nothing.
Those are our NFC beast thoughts.
We have no NHL, no NBA. Next week, what AFC team do we want to do next week for a division preview?
Should we do the South?
No, we want to end with that. Let's do the AFC West next week.
Okay.
Thoughts?
Yep.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, that sounds fine.
Before we get into the biggest part of our show, which is probably going to be F1, I have my PLL corner.
Very small PLL corner this week.
Well, it's All-Star Weekend in Kentucky.
Oh, boy.
Should I go? Where is it in Kentucky?
Probably Louisville. I don't know.
Louisville?
You should go. That would be sick.
I don't think I feel like going. No offense.
No, none
PLL.
taken. It is the Battle of the Andes. Andy Copeland from the Water Dogs and the head coach of the Chaos, Andy Towers, are your all-star coaches. I am Team Copeland just because I think that the roster is a little bit better. A lot of people on injury, a lot of people not traveling. I'll tweet a merch review of the uniforms when they're revealed. Other than that,
Well, they're getting special unis.
I looked on the website today and the All-Stars from last year had 2022 next to them. So I'm assuming 2023 is different.
Interesting.
So yeah.
Interesting.
Taking a tea break right here because I have to pee. Tyler, what are you eating?
Cheez-Its with a pair of chopsticks.
Yep.
I already noticed this earlier and I
What?
just chose to ignore it.
What, is there an issue?
I don't want to encourage him, Kendra. Just let it go.
I don't want to get my fingers dusty.
Oh my god.
I always eat chips with I've almost called them tweezers, chopsticks. I don't see what the issue is here.
All right, can we hop back into the show right here?
Yeah.
I need people to know what you just did.
Expose him.
I was eating chips with a chopstick because I don't want to get my hands dusty.
That is not normal.
Why not? I think it's a genius level move. I don't have to wash my hands after touching things.
I can't.
We're going to post a clip of that and we're going to let the people decide.
All right.
Oh my god.
I think the people will be with me.
All right.
Yeah, maybe. That'd be crazy.
All right. F1.
F1. We're back, baby.
The Hungarian Grand Prix is this weekend. Party.
We are hungry for it.
Mm-hmm. Haley, you wanna wait? It'll already be qualifying by the time this comes out.
Yeah,
so...
we will. I put the schedule in our notes. It wasn't really for the show. It was for more of you, Kendra, just so you could see what our times look like. Again, now that they are back in Europe, we have to watch at the ass crack of dawn. So we will be up early for a couple practices and qualifying on Saturday with the race on Sunday. Looking at last year's podium, just for reference, we had Max, obviously our boy, in number 1, Lewis and George with Mercedes rounding out 2 and 3. I don't know. What are your thoughts? What are your predictions for this weekend? Are you excited? We were kind of withdrawing last week from our F1.
Is this Daniel's first?
This is, so we can get into that too.
Race, I think.
So I want to start with the fact that there's rumors that Red Bull is going to have upgrades that might make their car 0.2 faster.
Yeah, I have that in my notes as well, which is funny because we have different results for that. I'm excited to see these potential upgrades. Obviously, Max is just absolutely smoking the rest of the grid in terms of time, just race after race after race. If they can improve that time, insane. I don't know how they're doing it under the cost cap, but okay, pop off, I guess. And I think that it's going to be even more embarrassing if we get yet another disastrous qualifier for Mr. Perez. And you think we're going to see a podium from him. I am not so confident. And I think this could potentially be the beginning of the end if these upgrades are what they are made out to be and he still can't bring it to the table.
I said last week that it shouldn't have been Nick. It should have been Checo. And I think that because of the upgrades and because of the pressure, he's going to podium this week, save his ass a little bit, and then not do anything the rest of the season. So that's my hot take. I don't know what the betting odds are. Let's go. It'll be Saturday by the time this comes out, so I won't tell you guys anything you can't hopefully bet by now.
I will.
Maybe let's see. All sports. I'm looking at DraftKings, by the way. Always DraftKings for me. Never anything else. Where is motorsports? Hello, motorsports.
Hello.
Hungary Grand Prix. All right, so Damn, his odds suck.
Yeah, I'm telling you, dude, I do not have faith. I think it's gonna be potentially, like I said,
No,
disaster.
DraftKings thinks he's gonna podium too.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's a favorite.
Oh, whose
Yeah.
odds suck then? Daniel?
Let's see. Daniel Ricciardo top 10 finishes plus 250. I feel like that's not crazy. I actually
That's not
kind of like
bad.
that.
Yeah,
I
that's
like
not
that.
bad at all.
Yep.
Yeah. And then top 6 finish for Daniel Ricciardo would be plus 2,500.
Damn.
I actually really like those plays.
Yeah, I kind of like him too. Even though
Damn.
I don't know. First week back.
He drove the track at the last race and was like 0.2 of a second or something ridiculous behind Max, who finished first.
Huh. I'll
Um,
take Danny Ricciardo top 10.
the minimum wager amount's 10 cents on DraftKings. That's crazy. Yeah, I actually really like those odds. Who else do I like this week? I don't know why you would bet on anybody but Max to win the race, to be
Yeah.
honest.
Well, I mean, there's no money to be made there.
Yeah, Danny Rick's odds are good. I like him. That being said, where do you guys think that he's gonna place this week? I think he
no
gets
clue.
out of Q2
Yeah, I could see that. I can
and
see that
stays
for
there.
sure. Other notes I have are obviously go Charles. I'm a Charles Leclerc fan. If he could podium, that'd be sick, especially after the disastrous. I keep saying disastrous because that is the word that comes to mind when I think about Ferrari. Previous couple races with miscommunication issues between the paddock and the car. So hopefully he can get his stuff together and podium. Daniel. I would love a top 10 finish for him. I would put money on a top 10 finish and even maybe top 6. That'd be sick. And then also potential.
Do we think the McLaren's gonna stay where they were in the last race, or do we expect like a little bit of fall off from them?
Yeah, so I was just gonna say potential big dick energy for McLaren, like depending on how they perform this weekend, coming off of a very successful weekend, I would say at Silverstone. I don't know. They have the potential to kind of move up the grid in terms of the Constructor Cup and kind of establish themselves as a team to fear here. And I honestly, I'm not a huge fan of their, like, obviously the whole Daniel situation and the politics of that, whatever. But I love Lando. I think he is super likable and he's a fantastic driver. So if he does well, I'm happy. But I don't know. Yeah, potential big dick energy for McLaren if they can pull it off this weekend.
I'm expecting a decent amount of fall off. I think that it helps that it was Lando's home race and he'd been pushing the car really well. But
they both did well, didn't they?
Yeah, Piastri did. Piastri finished 4th. I think he started P3, but I think there's a lot of pressure. They're both such young drivers. That's the thing. And there's so much pressure. And I think any sort of big moves, when you see a young driver replaced, it's not like there's anybody to replace them. But the talk of silly season and everything, which Haley has some notes on and stuff already, it's just that season's coming. And with the rumors of Lando, even though he kind of shot them down of him potentially moving and blah, 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 that means that they would have to bring in obviously an experienced driver, which means because there's no shot that I don't think Lando's leaving, but if he did, Oscar Piastri could not be your number 1 driver.
Yeah, I don't know.
At least if Lando's there, he has a little bit of a chance for like competing with someone because Lando is also so young.
Right.
What do you think, Tyler?
So I was going to ask a question for the people that are the casual viewers of F1. What is silly season?
Haley, you have it in your notes. Do you want me to explain it or do you want to do it?
Yeah, so you can explain it, Kendra. Go ahead. So
silly season is when the rumors of next season happen. It's kind of like the break between I think they call it like the summer break or fall break. I think it's summer break for them technically. And it's basically like you get 2 weeks off, and that's when rumors of people moving, people signing new contracts, all of that kind of heats up. And the media those are the people that kind of deemed it silly season, but it feels like it's starting really early. And those rumors have kind of been flying around. We talked about a lot of them last week, and it's just, it feels like it's happening earlier and earlier. And this is going to be a big one because obviously Audi's coming. Ferrari's going to have a seat available. What's up?
Whoop whoop. Audi.
Yeah.
Team Audi, baby.
Are you going to become an Audi fan?
Yeah,
Yes,
I will
he is
always be
gonna
a
be one.
Charles fan, but I'm only a Ferrari fan because I like Charles. So I'm
you're a
gonna
Charles
actually
fan.
be a Audi team fan though.
Okay. Will you support Audi no matter who the driver is, or will you choose
Unless
Charles
their
over
drivers, unless they sign a driver and I just end up hating them, I will
will you
support
choose
them
Charles over
regardless of
Audi?
driver. No, I would choose like if it came down to like one versus the other, I would be Team Audi over Charles. But I'm pulling for Charles to have success. In a perfect world, Charles will come with me to Audi, but
I don't think that's gonna happen.
no, it's not going to happen. I'm a realist.
Haley, are you gonna stay with Charles or?
Yeah,
what's
I'm
what's your
sticking with
note?
Charles. I'm sticking with Charles. The only thing I had about silly season, that's exactly it. The biggest thing, Tyler, is that with silly season, a lot of these drivers you have to remember are not, yes, they're driving for a team, quote unquote, but they're negotiating these contracts for themselves.
Yeah, it's a very independent sport.
It's very independent,
like. Yeah.
and they call it silly season because it's just ridiculous. You can't really predict what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And oftentimes these guys will straight up just lie to the team principal's face and say they're not leaving and then sign with another team the next day.
No, I mean
yeah.
that's the definition
The
of
media,
college football coaching carousel.
the media deemed it silly season, and it kind of just stuck.
No, that's good. It's a great name. I think
Yeah.
more things should be deemed as silly.
The only note I have regarding silly season, like Kendra mentioned, obviously it's starting early this year. I think it honestly starts whenever the seats start changing up in the grid, as it started with Daniel Ricciardo and Nick DeVries leaving. I think that kind of kicked everything off. Now we're hearing about these meetings with different teams and different drivers. And Nance, my mom, huge F1 fan, wanted me to put in the show. Silly season means everybody's got to keep an eye on Christian Horner. And I totally agree. Christian Horner, team principal for Red Bull. He is always making moves during silly season. So I'm sure he's got something cracking in that maniacal little notebook of his there.
Checo's gone.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of who's going to fill that seat. And I don't think it's going to be Yuki.
We'll
That's
see.
what I was gonna say.
No, Yuki.
Why do you think that, Tyler?
Yuki.
I think your friend
No.
Yuki is
It would
in
be
big
fun.
trouble.
That's why I think that.
No.
I'll accept Yuki on Team Audi.
Would you?
Oh yeah, he's a fun guy.
I think Yuki is going to be in big trouble, like I said last week, if Daniel Ricciardo gets to AlphaTauri and starts putting laps on that car.
Not my king.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm nervous about it. I'm nervous. I'm very nervous.
I am also nervous. Here's the thing. As much as I love Daniel Ricciardo as a person, it's really gonna depend on which version of him as a driver you're gonna get. Are you gonna get Daniel Ricciardo from like 2018 to 2020, or are you gonna get Daniel Ricciardo of old, like the most recent version of him?
I think the wins are in his favor because of like the media start, like this is what he lives for. Like I can just totally see him loving all of this. And like, I think I am manifesting as a Ricciardo fan that he gets out there and does
Pretty
some
sure he's got
movie-level
a
shit.
show coming on that produced by the Peyton Manning people, the Omaha Productions.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure I saw that.
All right.
Love it.
All right. Any other F1 thoughts?
No, ma'am.
All right. I think the bulk of our show is going to be closing segments this week, just because I feel like there's a lot of celebrity shit going on. But we'll start with tweets of the week first. Tyler doesn't have a tweet, question mark?
No, not really. I didn't have time to look into any of it because SEC chaos. So sorry, but
okay, no worries. Haley, tweet of the week.
Yeah, my tweet of the week is going to come from Chili's. I saw this and then also saw later that you retweeted it. So shout out Kendra. She retweeted this. Follow us on Twitter if you don't. Chili's said family dinner, but it's just me with my bartender at Chili's, and I relate. And yeah, it's lit. Shout out Chili's, we love you.
Can you still get margaritas to go from Chili's?
I don't know, potentially.
That's dependent on the state you're in. I
Yeah.
would have to imagine.
All right.
Follow your local ABC laws.
What about you, homie? What's your tweet of the week?
My tweet of the week is a question for you guys. There's been a lot of debate, and I've asked a lot of people on the air, off the air, but I haven't asked you guys. During the All-Star game last weekend, I guess Seattle's baseball park serves a hot dog called the Seattle dog. And it's a hot dog with grilled onions and cream cheese.
Yes, we did talk about this. We talked about this last
this.
week.
We did?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I had
we did. We talked. I thought you might have had an update for us. We did talk about this last week.
The onions were raw.
Yeah, we had a
Yes.
whole,
Oh my God, we did talk about this.
I would try it,
images. I talked about it today also.
To make it this weekend for myself.
I was so high on last week's show. Obviously, it's unreal.
I got it.
Look at us.
I still support the Seattle dog though. I think if it's done better than that picture was, it would hit.
I think that the principle is good.
It's all I've talked about all week.
That picture looked rough.
It's the execution.
I think it in theory is a good idea though.
Okay, well now I don't have a tweet of the week. Maybe my real tweet of the week is we did a Saturdays and Spliffs episode last week, obviously, and the guy that called me a stupid ugly hoe on Twitter or something yesterday. That was pretty funny.
That was fun.
That's good.
Yeah, I actually like that guy. Good for him.
Wow.
Some other guy said that people should come put a muzzle on their dog, aka me. I thought that was good. Someone said my voice sounded like quarters in a cheese grater. That was also good.
That just wouldn't work.
This is a really bummer of a segment.
No, I think that's actually so funny. That's like such a PG chirp.
Yeah.
PG chirps are funnier in my opinion.
They can be, depending on the circumstance.
All right, tea party segment. We both have two. I want to talk about your second one first, since I want to talk about your second one first.
Okay. I have Ariana and her husband Dalton are separating. This is something I saw coming. Apparently, a lot of their friends have seen it coming. They were totally whirlwind romance. She was seen at Wimbledon with Andrew Garfield without him. So I don't know. I know she's been really busy with this Wicked movie. I really don't care. Like, this is like kind of celebrity gossip I don't really care about, but it was all over this weekend. So that was pretty wild. I can't say I'm surprised though. They got married after like no time together.
Yeah.
I didn't know she was. I had no clue.
Yeah,
she was
see, a lot of people did it. It was like a COVID situation, kind of like they just did it and then didn't really. I don't know.
I've never heard of this Dalton guy in my life either. Is he a celebrity?
No, I think he's just
a guy.
He's a muggle.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Come for his brand. Just a muggle.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm surprised by this or not. I feel like a lot of bad shit happens to Ariana Grande.
Yeah, it just doesn't ever seem to work out in her favor, does it?
Well, she's with my boy Andrew.
I think
Garfield.
she just jumps into things too quickly.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm pro Andrew Garfield.
But I don't know her personally, so I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Kind of sad. Can't say. I feel like she's gonna hopefully take some more time for herself this go around.
I agree.
Now, how high do we think Pete Davidson's hypothetical odds to be date her again are?
Oh, that's
probably not very high.
Because there are sites you can go to and bet on this kind of thing.
I don't think it's very high.
Damn, why didn't I take my Kim Kardashian and Tom Brady take?
True.
My first tea party segment is, I don't know if you guys saw this. I'm sure you did, but
I did not.
I did. I just saw it like before joining.
I guess the murder of Tupac's case has been like reopened because they have a search warrant for a guy in like DC or something. Virginia? Was it Virginia, Tyler?
I don't know. I saw the headline and didn't have time to like read into it.
I think it's Virginia in connection with his murder. So we might know what happened, just obviously far too late. But I think that knowing is better than not knowing, ?
Las Vegas
At this
police
point, yeah, it would be
execute
fun
warrant.
to close the case.
Yeah, it says it was in the nearby town of Henderson, which is right outside of Vegas.
Well, I think the Vegas police have it, but it's in another state that they're searching.
Oh, really? This says they executed the search warrant in Henderson. Maybe they did another one.
Yeah, I feel like what I read was that they were going over state borders or something. I might be wrong, but I'm 99% sure that's something else that I saw because I had the thought that it was weird that it was another state police.
That's crazy.
I
But
don't know.
yeah,
It's interesting though. I would love to come to the end of the cold case, figure it out.
and Haley, what's your second Tea Party segment?
Just real quick, there's a Golden Bachelor. I don't watch The Bachelor. I don't really get into that franchise despite being a huge reality fan, but honestly, sick for the Surge divas and for people that are older looking for love. Love that for them.
Is it a full season of The Bachelor, or is it a spinoff called The Golden Bachelor?
Is it bad that he's my type?
No, I love that for you. That's
and
great.
Are the contestants going to be his age or be younger?
Yeah, I think that's the whole
her?
idea.
How do I apply even though he's 71?
I don't know.
I feel like casting has already happened.
Yeah, I would imagine.
I would have to imagine.
Hit me up at is it an ABC? Hello?
News, maybe.
Hit me up.
No, it's ABC.
Is
It would
ABC?
be great if they went with the whole Golden Bachelor thing and it was all younger women.
Younger girls.
Like that, like just totally screwed over the entire like purpose of the show, like to appreciate older
fine.
people.
That would
Like
be
the
funny.
whole concept would just be that he gets to date a young chick. Like, wow.
I am excited to see what hot grandmas look like.
Yeah, I know. That's gonna be
It might give me some
crazy.
hope.
I hope they fight and stuff. That's gonna be wild.
Oh.
Wow.
My second is that Gigi Hadid was arrested in the Caribbean for smuggling marijuana.
Nice.
Tough look, Gigi.
Tough. Gigi.
Yeah. Tough, Gigi.
She didn't have a fall guy, Gigi.
It was her and a friend, and they had like $1,000 penalty and were arrested.
Dang. That's why you gotta get
My
a fall
thing
guy.
is-
Everyone needs a fall guy.
Wow.
I'm just like, didn't we see what happened to Brittany Griner? Like, did we
Literally.
not learn a lesson?
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm surprised she didn't have to pay more, to be honest.
Yeah.
Crazy.
$1,000 isn't bad for Gigi.
Yeah,
no,
it's
it's
nothing.
nothing. That's like lunch.
Yeah, literally lunch.
All right, Tyler, it's your favorite time of the show.
Yep.
Oh boy, here it comes, ladies and gents.
It's gonna be boring. The moon's been boring the past few weeks.
Well, Venus retrograde starts on Sunday.
There you go. Now you know. And if you
All
don't
right.
know, now you know.
Tyler, it says that you're sharing your excitement. Your day at a glance is you're not afraid to strike out and find something new.
Wow.
Oh.
Pop off, King.
Let's see if there's anything better on your profile.
A little bit of baseball from the moon.
Yeah.
It says you need a romantic experiment with your partners.
Wow.
Yeah, that's the only really exciting thing today, Tyler.
Wow.
Well, there you go, Ty.
All right. Thanks, Moon.
Shout out the
We'll see you
moon.
next week.
Friend of the show. See you next week.
Any thoughts on that?
Yeah.
How does that make you feel, Tyler?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Do you feel enlightened from that
No.
conversation? Okay.
No. In fact, I think I feel the opposite. I'm
You've
just kind
lost-
of upset with the moon.
Oh, T.
Yeah. It needs to just better content, Moon. I'm disappointed. You could do
Yeah.
better than that, Moon.
There were no sparkles or seahorses this week.
No,
It's
no.
true.
It's been a
we
long
didn't-
time since we've had a seahorse.
Well, are you drawn to romantic experiments?
No, I can't say I am. I'm not a science guy.
Yeah. There's no if. What is it? The hypothesis. If
Yeah, I don't
then,
fuck with hypotheses.
if then statements.
No, AP format. No, none of that. I'm okay.
It says we're beeping over love and pleasure today.
There you go.
Wow.
Anything else? It says our spiritual awakening and denial of reality is in flux.
Wow,
and
T.
so that's actually accurate.
That's T.
Wow. I
Drag
don't know what
them.
any of that just meant.
It says our challenges aren't seeing eye to eye because we both have unrealistic expectations and power struggles of hopelessness.
Breaking
We're in a
news.
power struggle.
I have breaking news.
What?
Breaking news. I have breaking news. UVM
Like-
has fired their men's hockey coach over inappropriate text messages with students.
Oh.
So we'll keep you updated on that Hockey East news. But that is
Breaking news.
And Tyler's got the Cheez-Its with chopsticks.
Yep.
Oh my god. All right, Kendra, close us out.
Read it and
All
wait,
right.
nerds.
What do we got?
Anybody got closing thoughts other than mine?
I'm gonna echo
No.
yours.
Go USA team women.
Woo!
Women's national team. Beat
USA team women.
everybody.
Cup world.
Yes. Okay, I'm gonna go eat some paleo puffs. Tyler's gonna be a weirdo and Haley's gonna go work.
I have to work. Bye, gang.
Just pump it up, little cat. Where you at? There you go. Put two paws on the floor.